everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're going to talk about the middle class is burning down, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Some of you may know already. You're receiving the pressure. And here's how to escape the fire. We always have solutions here. So come along for the ride. Please stay tuned. And remember, today is SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live stream, where it's members only with the icon that can be in the chat room. Everybody else can watch, but only members can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. And also, members can always join me on a live stream as well. So let's get into it. Let's see who's in the house. But before I get that, first up, let's talk about Beachfront Java, because it's our own Professor Auntie Val. She has started a coffee business, soon to include coffee and tea. But here's the special deal. After your first order, once you use the promo code on your first order, SSN Lifestyle, all one word, all caps, you get 10% off for life. Premium blend coffee, Keurig, fine ground, drip ground, and from some of the premium coffee beans in the world, in Africa, in Peru, in Honduras, in Indonesia. So once again, please show some love using SSN Lifestyle. And also, later on tonight, there will be a drop of the Dominican Republic record of 7.6 million tourist video. And a lot more is going to be involved in that as well. And again, thank you so much. Make sure smash the like button if you stop by and watch this. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you like what we're talking about, subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me see who's here. Yahweh J's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live stream. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notification and saw the trailer. Thank you so much, Yahweh J. And funny thing, that looked different. I don't know why, but it looked different. It's a gray out. Let me check this out again. All right. I don't mind it. We'll go with that. We'll rock with that for the time being. We always need a little bit of change, right? Why not? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this off because there's a lot of people out here wondering, why am I living paycheck to paycheck? Well, there's a reason, but we're going to start it with this right here, because you know you have to make more money. But did you know what middle class is even, what the numbers even are? Is that crazy or what? Who knew this is what they're talking about is middle class? I damn sure didn't, because I would have never guessed without seeing this on Google that they consider middle class $140,000, $120,000, $110,000 a year as middle class, six figures. Let's just say that was 2021. 2 years later, due to inflation, clearly inflation has went up 10%. So this is probably more like 50,000 to 155 to 160,000 if we actually went by inflationary numbers. Who thought $150,000 would be considered middle class? Well, I'll tell you who. The people that have federal funds rates, when you start wanting to buy a house and a home is like $550,000 or $600,000, and you have to pay $3,000 or $4,000 per month, and all of a sudden you need to have 3 times that amount, $9,000 to $15,000. Well, now you know $108,000 to about $150,000 makes sense now, doesn't it? I'm just saying. And that's not even let's call it a custom home, right? That's just for an ordinary house. And in some locations, yes, it could be a little custom, semi-custom. But we're talking about a track house amongst everybody else, $550,000, $600,000, $650,000 house. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's what they're considering middle class. That ought to scare the bejesus out of you. Victor Marrero's in the house. Welcome. To the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon next to his name, and I greatly appreciate that, Victor Marrero. Financially, that's what members do. I appreciate it. He brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's right. He's been doing it, ladies and gentlemen. And the new soon-to-be retiree is about to go off on another adventure after he retires, and he's been doing the right thing. Talking about middle class. Even if you are middle class, you're going to have to learn something that unfortunately is going to be very hard to do right now. You're going to have to pay yourself first. In other words, you do have bills. You know that. You also like to go party or play or do whatever, your extracurricular activities to spend some money. But you're going to have to now. This is no longer where you can go forward. And unfortunately, if you have children, this is going to be a problem. There's no way that you're going to be able to not be able to pay yourself to make your money work for you. At this point on, it actually started like when I started this channel in reality. But I just say from this point on, it's almost a tipping point. You have no choice. What are you going to do? I'm going to ask everybody right now. The reason why the middle class is burning down. What are you going to do if all the things that you pay for now increase simply 10%? It's going to increase 10%. You just don't know when. Could it be 6 months from now? Could it be a year from now? Could it be a year and a half from now? Are you going to be able to withstand a 10% overall across the board? Everything you pay out in expenses, can you withstand another 10%? Yes, some of you will say yes. Others of you will say, well, you know what? I'm living paycheck to paycheck now. Another 10% means I'm underwater. I won't be able to pay that cost. And we're talking about cost of living. We're talking about shelter, food, water, gas, or transportation to and from where you need to go to work. That's what I'm talking. I'm not even talking about you're saying, hell, I got to go do something every other weekend, or I got to go buy clothes and this, all that. I'm not even referring to that. I'm talking about if you live in Florida right now, if you live in California, if you live in about 30 or 40 states, you got a insurance bill premium over the last year. Your insurance premiums on a house, if you own a house, on your renter's insurance, if you need that, on your car insurance, not maybe so much, depending on where you live. You will notice some of you have 20%, 30% increases. What if they do this again? Why? Because less people will have insurance, because guess what? They are taking out people that are high risk. That is the weirdest thing. They will not insure people like your house is too old, your roof is too old, the structure of your building too old. We can't insure this. You live by a wildfire zone. We're not insuring your house. Do you understand? 10% problem will be the least of your worries. Because if you're one of these people that are uninsured, and quite frankly, this has already happened across the street, you cannot get insurance in this subdivision. A tree fell on the house 8-9 months ago. I know they can't have insurance. Other people driving by would say, well, why didn't they get their house fixed? All they had to pay was like $1,200 or $1,500 a year. Wrong. They can't get insurance if they want to. And then if they try to get insurance, the main carriers won't take them. They'll say, go call our sister company who charges 30 to 40% more if they even take the insurance. This is what you're dealing with. It's not coming straight at you like you're thinking. You're going, okay, I got my gas, water, sewer, garbage, HOA. I know how much it costs generally for me to get back and forth to work. I know how much food I spend per month. This is what I'm talking about. You know that. But what if all those went up 10%, middle class and lower class? And then what happens if your insurance goes up 30? And not just your home insurance. What if now your medical insurance, which is not going to be covered by your boss, goes up 20%? Now, all of a sudden, you find yourself in the situation that millions of Americans and millions of people, billions of people around the world are finding themselves. This is crazy. All right, Victor Marrero, I think people have realized current interest rates are the norm. That's correct. The days of the 2.5% mortgage rates are part of the history class. The stock market is showing it. Exactly, Victor Marrero. I agree with you 110%. But until, here's the thing, when they reduce the interest rates, you and I both know what's going to happen. All the people who were pent up going, I'm middle class. I make 125,000. I make 150,000 per year. You know what's going to happen. The interest rates are going to get down to around 4%, 5%. They're going to be out here buying stuff. $700,000, $800,000, $900,000. Like it's no tomorrow, outbidding each other. Because in their head, they think somehow by buying this house, whether it's the top of the market, top of the price, over the price, they think somehow that that's an asset. Not realizing how much it's going to cost them to maintain that property while they live there year after year after year after 15 years. And then if you have a 30-year note, 20 years, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Like I keep telling everybody, I hate to burst your bubble. If you've never owned homes, and especially the bigger the home is, the more expensive it costs. And especially the older the home is, there's still maintenance and upkeep that just won't go away. As with anything, the older it gets, there has to be upkeep. You're maintaining gutters, roofs, your appliances, just those three things I just mentioned right there. Insurance only goes so far. And depending on how old your house is, you might not even have insurance coverage for your roof if you're in some of these states. So I'm just saying, you got to be paying attention out here. You're going to really spend $80,000 to $100,000 for a roof because your house is over 12 years old or 15 years old? Your insurance is going to dictate it. They're not taking risk anymore. They know it's going to leak. Come on. You guys get on the page. Victor Marrero is exactly right. It's going to be the norm. 2.5, if that ever happens, it's going to be a miracle. There's only one, well, actually, there's a few ways, in my opinion, it can happen. But that's going to take what I believe it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt when he started doing the infrastructure stuff. When they, we got to build all the highways. We got to do, that's the kind of thing that has to happen. Public works. So in other words, the Hoover Dam, the Las Vegas Lake Mead, whatever they call the dam now, but that's it, right? But the point is, you have to do, like, why wouldn't there be like something for the solar industry, something for the EV industry? Where's the bullet train tracks, right? Where is that going? You have to have the infrastructure bills. Yes, we're going to pay for it as taxpayers, but this helps you. And then what are you going to do about doing the infrastructure? Okay, somebody's working on that now. But the point I'm trying to make is you're going to need high-paying jobs if middle class is $100,000. What about everybody that makes between 150 and 100? That's okay. But what about everybody that makes less than 100,000 a year? Depending on where you live, that could be a nice paycheck. But if you live in like New York, that's nothing. They've been paying people over $100,000 a year for about 20 years now. That don't matter. It costs way more in New York. San Francisco, they've been paying people over 100,000 for 20 years as well. It won't matter because it taps out. You can only pay somebody as much as the business can bear. How can you keep paying people if they earned 120,000 20 years ago? They're going to be in the upper 200s by now, right? Well, there's going to be a cap. Sooner or later, you're not going to be able to pay 100 people $250,000 a year. Let's just get real. All right. So keep those things in mind. Victor Marrero says average family is paying an additional $700 to $800 per month. Middle class is being destroyed. Yes, we've been talking about this for 4.5, 5 years. I told you guys this day was coming. This is why we always discuss different things. When others were saying, oh, don't worry about it, go buy this or go do that or just go pay for a house cash. Okay, look, there's nothing wrong with paying for your house cash. But see, all those people that paid for their house cash, they quickly realized, they said, well, wait a minute. I just gave off $300,000, $350,000. And what do I get back in return? Well, $4,500 in taxes for real estate. Well, again, depending on what state you're in, it could be $6,000 for insurance. It could be taxes could be equally 2%. So we're talking about 5,000 to 6,000. You could be paying $12,000 a year just in two things. $1,000 per month. Your HOA went from $120 to $290. I paid at my other place. You guys know when I first started this channel, can you believe the HOA was $74 per month? The other day when I was telling you guys about my next door neighbor selling their house, my old next door neighbor, and the HOAs are now $360 in 5 years. They added $75 apparently every year since I've moved. This is crazy. That sounds like a hell of a lot more than 10, 20%. So if you were in the same situation, you're all of a sudden going, wait a minute, I'm paying $1,000 or more just for my insurance and my taxes. Then I'm paying more for my HOA if you have one. Then you're realizing the insurance premiums are giving you stipulations saying your home is over 12 or 15 years old. You have to do a new roof or we can't insure you. You're really going to spend another 80, 90, 100,000. I mean, this is insanity. I just went over it again because this is what's happening. You can say I have payments, but you're right. You have payments, but your free and clear house now costs you damn near $2,000 a year. Plus the upkeep. I'm just saying you have to see what's happening. So what do we talk about here? You guys know we've been talking about getting assets. And a lot of people are confused. We've never said a house is an asset. We can use it as an asset. Yes, you work for it. But at the same time, if you have passive income coming in and you use that to pay for the house, that takes the load off of you. That's what it's all about. And then you reap the benefit of a home price increasing, and then you can tap into equity, but you're going to have to go buy assets. No longer can you go out here and go buy mobile homes and motorcycles. Them days are over because you're going to get slayed because your car or motorcycle insurance and all these guys, they're on the game too. They're going up. That's simple as that. Property insurance is a problem here in Florida. Guess what? Progressive dropped our Orlando property. And so the other owners, oh my God, they're losing money. Looking for another company now. We're getting jammed up. Exactly. We were talking about this last year. It's just a matter of it's rolling downhill. Nobody's immune. You can't sit there and say, oh, I live in an upscale neighborhood. You can't say, oh, I just live in a poor neighborhood, so no big deal. It's a big deal no matter which end of the spectrum you're on. You're not going to be able to escape middle class. In fact, nobody's going to be able to escape unless, well, I have to say it, unless you have money where you can actually go to the assessor's office and, you know, your $1 million house somehow is assessed at $300,000. You know, you can fight the court. There's a certain president that does that and a few other millionaires that do that. He ain't the only one. Buying homes for millions of dollars to go to the assessor's office and be like, hey, hold on now. My house ain't worth 1.2 on the assessor's chart. I'm going to take you to court. Look, we got this over here, that over there. And you know what? It's only $500,000. So that's how much I should be paying tax on, $500,000. And they're like, sir, you bought the thing for $2 million. What are you talking about? Well, we can't fight you because we're a city, state, and county. Our taxpayers are paying us. So, okay, at least you're paying something. See, that's why money matters oftentimes. You think you don't live in a third world country. You don't think that they're not bribery. You don't think there's laws catering towards people that are not in the middle class. Then you must be having a blinders on and you must not understand how this works. You are the victim, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to put it this way. If you're making middle class money, you are actually a victim. But you don't look at it that way because you're like, I have a roof over my head. I have food in the cupboards. Everything looks great. We can drive down the street in my fancy car. But the reality is you're paying taxes. You're paying high inflation. You're a victim, but don't realize it. And you're going, there ain't nothing I can do. Well, there's little things you can do, but you don't want to leave it in the hands of the politicians. You don't want to leave it in the hands of any government. All governments are the same. The people in Europe, if you're watching, you better teach the people over here what's going on. What you guys, I've told you this before if you have seen the videos. Europe has already done this. They did it like now 13 to 20 years ago, where they went to negative interest rates. And that allowed the corporations and businesses to get loans at 0% and then buy up neighborhoods, blocks, buildings, everything. Because they're the business is the one that's making $100 million, $30 million. But they don't need their cash. All they had to do was go down and say, see, we're in the stock market. See, our shares are worth $20 billion. Do you think we can get a loan against $1 billion or $2 billion? Ordinary citizens' homes are only $200,000. So what happens? All the companies said, well, they're on a buying spree. Them same homes are like $2 million now because they didn't care how much they paid for them when you have 0% interest and indefinite amount of interest only. That's what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you're going to be left behind the same way. And so you're going to have to figure it out now, where you want to live, how you preparing for it, because you might have to pick a spot and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to be able to control the cost. Victor Morrell is pointing out exactly what's happening. He cannot control the cost for the insurance. Nobody can, unless you're the owner of the insurance company. So you're all going to get jammed up. They work together. They're not working in your best interest. They're working in the best interest of shareholders. That's why you must get shares. I hate to say it, but that's the part of this game. You have to become part of the shareholder group. So if you want to invest in AIG, that's your business. But the point I'm trying to make is you have no choice. You need a return on your money. So you have to invest in stocks. So we'll talk about yield max ETFs, which is the best thing going right now. Yieldmaxetfs.com. Everybody on podcast, that's where you go. Go look at that. Go study that. Go check that out. Do your research, because if you can earn 20% or more on your money annually and it's working for you, you get to join the Warren Buffett Club. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Auntie Val is here. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And she has the icon, of course. If you're trying to get in the chat room, there's a reason why, because you have to be members only on Wednesday night. She says good evening with her heart, with the powerful messages and the cup of Java. The beachfront Java, still under the weather, but wanted to check in. Have a great evening. See you soon, I'm sure. See you soon, and make sure you're feeling a little better. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday or next Monday. But thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it, showing the love and the support. Professor Auntie Val, oh no, hope you feel better soon. Exactly. We all hope you feel better soon, and hopefully it's nothing serious. As days go on, you know how we start getting worried if somebody's still ill after about 7-8 days. And it's like, wait, do you have bronchitis? Wait, is there something else going on here, right? So hopefully everything will subside over the next 2 or 3 days, and you know how to handle it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I went on my little spiel, but I gave you something, the yield ETFs. Now, the other thing that's amazing, we went over on Monday, because it's Money Making Mondays, where the chat room's open to everybody. And Friday night at 9-10 p.m., chat rooms open to everybody. Just Wednesday nights, chat rooms only open to the members, but everybody can watch. Smash the like button. And by the way, speaking of getting assets, some of you are in America going, oh my God, what's this man talking about? I only make like $45,000, $50,000 a year. I do have about 10 to 15,000 saved up. I don't know what I can do. Well, you can put your money into some of it into yieldmaxetfs.com. Some of those that are on the stock exchange, regulated by the SEC and the government, you can go that route and earn 30% on what you put in. How about that? 35%, which means if you did have a chunk like 10,000, you could earn $3,000 per year on 30%, $250 per month. And you don't have to do nothing, but can you imagine The second year after you got that 13,000, it's reinvesting. So it's actually 13,000 and a little change over because you're reinvesting, which means each month. So the actual yield annually is higher than 30%, maybe 32, 31. I've never ran the numbers. But the point I'm trying to make is you have 13,300. And in the following year, that 13,000 at 30% means you have 400 and something added. So now it's 1,800 the following year in 2 years. And the third year, you've doubled. I'm just saying, where else can you double in 3 years besides some Ponzi scheme, right? Let's get real here. So that's why you go check out yieldmaxetfs.com. Now, if you want to get into the REIT business, that's a whole nother ball game. Right now, you go check out ORC and ARR because they are approaching 23, 24%. Now, all I'm going to give you is a disclaimer, a cautionary disclaimer, because that high of rate for dividends for a stock, that is a REIT. Yes, they give out 90% of the profits. But the thing is, you have to make sure you study and make sure that there's not an announcement of some sort that says we're going to suspend, dividends, or we're going to reduce the dividends. I don't think so, but you just never know because 23, 24% is equally just as good as 30%. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We talked about that on Monday too. We'll go with NLY. Go check out PSEC. Go check out IVR, IEP. Just off the top of my head, there's a few. So that's all I can tell you. Raydel Cabezas is in the house. An investor is here making things happen. He's doing the right thing. He put money down years ago, just like Victor Marrero, just like Jaway J, just like myself. We put money down years ago looking for that future payout. And while we're going through this struggling time, we're paying a little bit, 0% interest over the next few years. And then at the end, when they start reducing interest rates, they've already done it in the Dominican Republic. Then when prices start popping again, we have instant equity and we have property that we can do short-term rentals with. Raydel Cabezas is one of those making things happen. He says, good evening, SSN. Good evening to you, Raydel Cabezas and family. Watching and learning as always. Thank you so much, man. And speaking of Raydel Cabezas, I just got to give him some props on it. He owns at the beach. He bought one of them penthouse units. Now, today, something popped up on Instagram, and it was the beach. So then I went to go to the beach's profile link because they said 1-bedroom units are $161,000, $162,000. And I was like, what? 1 bedrooms initially 4 years ago started around 89.9 or 79.9. 4 years ago, yeah, I think it was 79.9. 3 years ago, 89.9. So the fact that it's not at 180 is very interesting. But that's not the interesting part. What the interesting part is the 2-bedroom. They have some 2-bedrooms that are in the 200,000s at the beach. That's right. It's a pre-construction project in the Dominican Republic. All right. I find that fascinating. The reason why I find it fascinating is because it's not penthouse units. Like Raydel Cabezas has a penthouse unit. So his is more valuable. They have a 4-bedroom penthouse unit selling right now for $632,000. All right. It's the only one, actually. Okay. He paid half that, less than half that for his penthouse unit, as far as I know, because I'm only guessing you got it way back when it first started. That is incredible. The 2 bedrooms were 126. All right. They are now in the 230, 240, 250s. And you would think with that kind of price that it would be like, 1,500 square feet or 1,400 square feet. No. These things are like 88 square meters, roughly 990 basically square feet, but that includes the patio, balcony area. So that makes it very interesting. All right. So I just want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, you're missing the ride. One of the wild rides that's happening around the world. In fact, I just got something today, 123,000 for a condo in Dubai. Dubai of all places. I should have dropped a video. I'll probably drop a video tomorrow on social media on the shorts. 123,000. Is that insane or what? Even Dubai is getting in on the low price condos. They're like, okay, we're having all these properties that people are buying because they're expensive, and then they're just sitting there. Why don't we get something where people would live in? Because we're letting all these rich people just buy up 2, 3, 4, 5 units, and then just they don't even live there. Which, let's get real. But the point is, this is what's happening around the world. You have to pick a spot. I'm picking a spot that's just so happens to have a tourist revolution right now. And I advised everybody else to join that revolution because you get free equity, just like Radel Cabezas is getting right now. If somebody actually comes and buys these units, they get funding for these units, then the appraiser has no choice but to sit there and say, if there's a resale of these numbers. So what I'm getting at is people who already have delivery now have something to look forward to. They could say, well, I bought my 2-bedroom for 140, 142. I think that was the number. It was 131. What was it? 131, 136, 141. So 141.9, 142. So I bought it for 142 and looks up that the resort is selling it, or the beach is selling theirs for 260. So you're thinking, okay, wait, 140, 100 G's. I think I kind of like that. What if I offer somebody 242? So what if somebody buys it and I make 100 G's, I cash out, and then what do? I take the 100 G's and I do the same damn thing. I sit there and go, let me go find another spot. Maybe it's Cruise on Land. Maybe it's Larimar. Maybe it's Vista Cana. Maybe it's just some other place. You find Macau. You go and say, you know what? I'm going to put down, I'm going to go put down my 20,000, 25,000. I have this other 80,000. I think I'm going to put this 80,000 into an asset that pays me so I get passive income. And imagine if it's Yield Max ETF at 30%, or imagine if ARR or ORC or NLY, you like that 15 to 23, 24% on 80 grand if you were putting all eggs in one basket. But I'm just saying normally you wouldn't do that. But let's just say you did. You'd be earning like, what is that? 1,200 to 1,500 a month. Enough to use not the 80 grand, but to use the dividend to pay for your monthly payment after your down payment. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And then the next project, not only will he have the 80,000 2 years from now on that delivery, he will still have that 1,600 or actually be higher than that, possibly 1,600, 1,800 a month. He now has that coming in because he now has another bag. He could do the same thing, or anybody can. You could say, okay, this went up another 70 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand. I'll just sell that too. And let's keep going, but I'll add in another 50, 60 grand. And instead now it's only 12 to 15, 1,600 coming. I got 23, 24, 2,500 coming. That is a lot better. And you did it only in less than 5 years. That's it. The time, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you're looking for. You don't want to sit here and wait 30 years, do you? 20 years. That's the traditional way, right? You're trying to shortcut it. And that works out a lot better. Radel Cabezas, by the way, congratulations. I believe is in order. I think. Because if I'm not mistaken, you did get that Macau Hills, I believe, that you mentioned. So congratulations. Not only did he do that, he did Macau Hills, which is another real estate project. And again, bought something inexpensively. Or did you? I don't know if you pulled the trigger on that yet, but you were mentioning something about it, I believe, on Monday. But nonetheless, let me know if you're pulling the trigger on that situation. And if it's because Macau Villas is not available. So it has to be Macau condos, which again, 70, 80 grand for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. Again, I don't see the problem. Macau Gardens, for everybody that's checking, third floor. That's the one you want. Forget, even though they don't have elevators, third floor. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into something else. Because after you saw this, some people might have came in late. They might have missed this because they don't know what the middle class is. They don't know they have work to do. Here's middle class, 47,000 to 141,000. But did you know something? Here's the funny part about this. What's even worse is this is even worse what I'm about to show you now, because this starts getting very, very bad, in my opinion. This is how the middle class has been burning. 33,000 annually. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I actually hit my screen off when I was moving some things over, some windows over. But nonetheless, $33,000 used to be an average salary. How long ago? Like 20 years ago. All right. That would have been like almost in the middle class range. No longer can you say that. And unfortunately, look at this here. This is what's even scarier when you look at this type of stuff. I'm sitting here like unbelievable. Let me know what you guys are thinking when you see this. Let's see when it pops up. Pew defines middle class, 47,000. You guys already know that. I thought I had it on the screen. Here, I'm going to change it now. Check this out. This is insane. Okay. Guess we're not going to get there. Not today. All right. I put middle class is burning down. All right. We'll do it this way. Guess it's not working. Google's not working. That's funny. Google's not working. Fine. We'll do it a different way then. Nope, that's buying election stuff. Let's see here. We'll try this again. Have to go to the actual page. All right. Where is it? That's not it either. Where is it? That's not it either. Interesting. I don't have it. It's disappearing on me. Yeah, it disappeared, ladies and gentlemen. I can't pull up what I was going to show you. It was a Google. All right, but let me just do this. $33,000. And what it ends up being is, oh, maybe this is it here. We'll see. What it ends up being is $2 trillion is held. That's it. From the lower, below middle class. $2 trillion is all the wealth that those people own. That is millions of people in the US. This isn't worldwide. This is just in the US. Just so you know. So I was trying to pull it up. And Victor Morero, I'll pull this up too, because he actually pointed out earlier something that he mentioned, the $600 to $800, the budgets. That's 2021 numbers. We have reached the 800 numbers. This is Bloomberg, so they're going to actually ask for some sort of login. So hopefully you saw that real quick and brief. Well, I guess you didn't, because it's not on screen. Crazy. All right. So this is bizarre. This is bizarre. This is starting to irritate me. When things don't work right, ladies and gentlemen, it starts to be irritating. All right, let me know what you guys are thinking out here, because we are talking about a middle class is burning down right around you, right in front of you. And you're still maybe sitting there going, no worries, because my house went up 20% year over year. So I have equity in my home. The problem is, if you tap your equity, you're going to owe more money. So you really don't want to tap the equity because you don't know what the interest rates are going to be in the future. Victor Moreau touched on it a little bit when he said the $600 to $800 is the budget now. And unfortunately, it's going to keep rising. So if it already rose in just 2 short years, what do you think is going to be 2 years from now? 1,000, 1,200? So anyhow, here's what I was looking for. The average real wealth of U.S. middle class households has fallen more than 33,000 this year alone, which I thought that was an actual dollar amount, but it's actually, they're saying $33,000 less in wealth. Since the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates last year to curb the highest inflation in a generation. You hear this? Highest inflation in a generation. The middle class has lost more than $2 trillion in wealth, which, again, let me show you something. Top 50% on how much wealth. Again, you guys have to understand, this is dire. You can't sit around here and just go, oh, well, my pension will take care of me. Oh, well, everything's going to be fine. No, not going to happen. It's not going to be fine. All right, I know I'm setting the alarms because it's burning, ladies and gentlemen. The house is burning. This statistic, which I'm not going to be able to show, well, maybe I am. Here we are. This right here, bottom 50%. See that? See that? 2.5% of the wealth, bottom 50%. I know some of you already know this, but what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you have to do something. You can't just sit idly by and go, you know what, I'm earning that treasury bond at 4.5% or 5%. I'm good because I gave them like $300,000. I'm good. You're not good. You're not going to be good because that 5% that you're earning is being washed away and you actually owe more than that in inflation. It's not just based on the government numbers. Just like Victor Moreau was talking about the insurance rates in Florida. They won't even insure you. Now you're at risk of, if some storm happens in the next week, 2, 3, 5, 10 weeks from now, you could be at jeopardy of what's happened to people in Florida, Louisiana, and the Gulf Coast over the last 20 years. Your house is flattened. You weren't able to secure the insurance. And even if you did secure the insurance company says, oh, no, we can't cover this. Or we're going to give you half of what your house was worth. You're not going to be able to rebuild. So, and you won't even be able to tap the equity at that point. So actually, your equity is not really where the game is. Your equity is only there so then you take it out and be able to put it into things that can earn you 15%, 20% if possible. And right now it's possible. In the future, it won't be possible because when stocks go up, homes go up, then your dividends come down. So you won't be able to get these double digits readily available at 12, 15, 20%. That's not going to happen. And in the case of yield max ETFs, who knows what they'll do? They do things a little different, but maybe they can maintain 25% or 20%, but their stock value will go up as well, which means their dividends will have to come down. So now may be the time to buy, but I'm just wanting you to see 2.5% is the bottom 50% of this whole big wealth wheel. Do you understand? You cannot win. We've talked about this several times, everybody. And so while your house is burning, you don't know it. You're living comfortable. You go to the grocery store and you're shaking your head like, I could have sworn I used to pay $2.49, $2.99 for my block of, unsalted butter. I went up there the other day and it said $5.49. I'm just like, I thought it was the wrong look. That's double the cost from just 2 years ago. There's so much stuff that you just remember when you're going through and buying stuff, and it's like, that's crazy. I just like when I used to get my little snacks and stuff, and they used to be relatively inexpensively, and they have a five something in front of them now. I'm just like, they were never five something. They were like three something or two something, but never a four or a five. So when I start seeing this is just in the lower level things. That means the higher level stuff has to do the same thing. More costly items is going to do the same thing, which, by the way, this also, I lost everybody in chat, it looks like. This also, I'm putting in chat, but this also brings up something with regard to furniture packages for people in the DR or wherever you are and you're buying property and they say, here, you're going to have a furniture package. The price that you get now will not be the price that's going to happen a year or two from now. You don't know what it's going to be. Just because they said they're going to furnish your place and back then it was 20 grand. 2 years later, that 20 grand can mean 30, 35 grand for furniture. So once again, you cannot escape, ladies and gentlemen. So here's how you got to escape. You got to go get a business, buy one preferably that's already making profits. That'd be the wisest choice. Buy some pre-construction real estate anywhere that you feel comfortable, because then you buy at the lower price, hopefully first phase, worst case scenario, second phase, because by the time they hit third phase, you're going to probably be paying 20% more. And it'd be a lot better if you paid 20% less, right? So then you have options. When you get delivery of your unit, you could say, you know what, this was great. I'll take the profits and run. Or you can say, this is great, and I'm going to get passive income if I can get these short-term rentals coming in. So I have two ways to do this, or long-term rentals month to month, or 6-month leases, or whatever you want to do. But at least you have an asset at that point that's generating money for you. So it's not a liability such as a house. All right. So keep that in mind. Victor Morrell is pointing out something that he just tapped into the next phase of the burning, because I did forget about this. He's exactly right. If you have a mortgage, you're required to have insurance, which he is absolutely correct. Once the mortgage company finds out that you dropped insurance, they'll assign you a mom and pop company, and then same premium, big issue. He's exactly correct. I forgot about that other shoe that was dropping. You're right. I forgot all about that. He's exactly right. If you have a mortgage on first of all, any lien holder is going to make you have insurance to protect their property. So that is a stipulation on any type of thing, even like cars, homes, motorcycles. It doesn't matter. Anything that you have a lien against, a company you owe money to, they're going to make you have insurance. And he's exactly right. It works the same way on everything. If you drop your insurance, the insurance company is going to be assigned, and you're not going to like it, because they apparently get kickbacks. Because my friends have told me that they didn't pay their insurance. And I said, dude, you need to get whatever. I said, even if you have to underinsure it, you need to get a liability. Even if you can't meet their criteria, you need to get something. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you. You're going to see something that you're going to go crazy over. You're going to have a $700, $600, $500 additional monthly payment, and you're going to be like, what? I can get insurance in? I said, exactly. And now what? You're locked, because your payment just went from $500 a month to $1,000 a month, because they're going to pick whoever they want. It's not going to be in your favor. So again, thank you for bringing that up. It's a huge issue. And when people in Florida can't get insured and they have a mortgage, now you see why you're under the gun, middle class. Because if your house isn't free and clear, you got to have insurance, like Victor Morrell says. And that's what they know. The insurance companies know this. Your lien holder knows this. All I'm saying, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. And if there's another storm that comes, which I'm pretty sure there will be in the southeast somewhere due to hurricane season, you don't even know if you can get insurance after this next one passes through. Right? This is scary. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because that is very significant. And this is what's going on. It's not Florida only. It's all over. It's Georgia, it's Alabama, it's Tennessee, it's Mississippi, Louisiana, California, Arizona. It's all over for different reasons. Some say, okay, hurricanes. Other in the West, they say wildfires. I mean, take your pick. Either way, it's the same thing for an insurance company. Your house gets burnt down. It's valued at $1 million, like in the West, traditionally, or more. They don't want to give you $2 million to rebuild your house. They're not. So again, and if you have a lien on the house, man, that really sucks. Because then a mortgage, now they take the money from the mortgage, possibly to pay, and then leave you holding nothing, saying, here, we gave you $1.8 million, but your note was 1.6. And now what do? No house, $200,000 cash. And now what? So you see, you're putting yourself in these situations, but it's not your choice. This is how they are ruling the world. And so you're going to watch TV on Saturday for college football, basketball, and Sunday, college football, basketball, or whatever you do, right? Tennis, wrestling, whatever your pastime is. Are you entertained while you're getting a knife in your back? But not here in the SSN Nation, ladies and gentlemen, because we know what to do. You get the pre-construction. Why? Because if you had to go right now and somebody tells you, okay, you want to buy this for $200,000, you're going to have to pay an interest note of 8%, 7.5. Put down 20%, by the way. We need $40,000, and that's $180,000 at, well, I'll be generous, 7%. That's $1,400 to $1,500. HOA, $200-$300, whatever, if you have an HOAs. But you can see where this is going. You're going to be paying $1,700. We haven't even gotten to the insurance yet. So you're going to be at 2 Gs. That doesn't seem so appealing, does it? But doesn't it seem much more appealing if you can put down 20%? And instead of having to come up with the 10% or 20%, take your pick. But you don't want to have to get a loan, but you can make monthly payments off grid, is what I call it, because you don't have to get a loan and it's 0%. And then on the other side, you get a ring. You get instant equity at 0%, just like if you paid cash. Are you getting it? Stocks that we talked about on Monday, same thing. Are you getting it? Grabbing yourself a business, biz, buy, sell, bizbuysell.com. People have businesses, which, by the way, I was so busy, I forgot about, oh man, that cleaners. I'm pretty sure somebody has already taken that off the market. Man, I got so wrapped up into some things. Oh man. Court stuff, medical stuff. I got wrapped up and I forgot all about it. Ladies and gentlemen. It was one hell of a deal. Deal right now, but it was 200 and what was it? 300 and something thousand. And the guy, man, I'm pretty sure it's gone because there's no way. Where was that at? Oh, that island that was on TV, St. Simon's Island. They're selling it 700, or is it appraised for 1.2? They're selling it for 749. Here goes a perfect example. It didn't cost them 749. They're saying it's appraised for 1.2, but they're willing to take 7.4. If it cash flows and has profits of 100,000, then it's worth $1 million. They're giving you a deductible. Why are they trying to run after they have been on Oprah, Travel and Leisure, Coastal Living? That's interesting. Here we go. Is this it? Nope, that's pizza. Here we go. Cleaners, 179 with the cash flow allegedly of 144,000. Oh, now under contract. Yeah, I think it might have been already. But again, YouTube automatic ranking. There's all kind of things. This is Biz Buy Sell. I went over this another live stream, so you guys can check it out yourself. But again, Victor Moreau always dropping the cold hard facts as well, because I forgot about that extra lever that people are finding themselves in. And while the middle class is burning down, you can do something about it right now. But as I started this off with tonight, you have to pay yourself first. You're going to have to put a little something. I don't care if it's $25 a week, $25 a month. You got to start doing something. And that's going to have to churn over there. But it churns a lot better if it's 30% being reinvested. 30%, 30%, 30% on that annually. That's pretty good. So just keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure, once again, smash that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Check out the other videos. If you're new here, there's lots of other videos. There's over 1,000. That's right. And some I've actually erased, which is crazy, right? Some of the crypto stuff, because crypto is like, don't go there with me at this point. I can't do it no more. We wasted tons of money, time, energy, and effort believing in companies that allegedly were backed by real world businesses, for starters. Didn't happen. They're still, both of them, debt boxes in receivership, or they're going with it through the SEC. But whenever you deal with the SEC, that's a year to 2 years. They're draining your pockets. That's almost done with. And then the cash flow NFT guys, they started talking about something with the stocks and NASDAQ and NFT. And I was like, wait, we don't have NFTs no more. And I'm like, what happened to the stores, the ATMs, the point of sale systems, the renters insurance program that they were going to have, and all that was going to earn money, and the exchange. Now all of a sudden they're talking NASDAQ. See us in 12 to 18 weeks. I'm like, don't see you at all. You're not going to get SEC approval. Let's get real. You're a crypto company or pseudo crypto company, whatever you're trying to do. Not going to happen. Then they have nodes now. I'm just like, is this for real? This is insane. So once again, you have to go with the stuff that is tried and true, the investment vehicles that are tried and true. Business that's established, where you can buy something that has a cash flow. If you can do that, that's best. We've talked about those 3 tenets. Real estate, if you can buy it and put down a little bit and have 0% interest for 2 or 3 years while it's accruing some equity, that's the best case scenario you can get, no matter what the interest rates are. It's a lot simpler when you sit there and bought something at $175,000, and 2 to 3 years later, they're selling that same thing for $300,000, and you have an interest rate of, let's call it what we have now, 7% plus. You want to pay 7% plus on 130,000, or no, it wouldn't be that. Sorry, 80,000, 90,000, or do you want to pay 7 or 8% on 300,000 because you decided to wait? I'm just asking for a friend. All right. So this is why this is very dire. I've been saying this. When people say years go by, years is not really a time. What I'm trying to say is, with investments, it's not really a time. You have to invest all the time. So years is a thing. No matter what you do in investing, it takes years. It's not like you can do, get rich quick scheme stuff. Yeah, okay. You can do something to make money faster. Yes. Like rent out your home to short-term rentals on Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rental platforms. Yes. You can make, thousands per month, which could fast track you, because you can use that money and put it into something that's giving you 15%, 20% dividends. That would be awesome, right? So those are the things that you're going to have to do, ladies and gentlemen. Invest. You're not going to be able to sit there and say, well, I'm going to go work for somebody else and that's it. I'll get a pension. Yeah, well, like I said, see how far that's going to get people in about T-minus 2 years. You heard it here. T-minus 2 years, when some of these companies and some of these states can't fund their teachers fund, firemen's fund, the educational teachers fund, and they can't do none of the other funds that they are holding that are underfunded, because now you have less people working, more retirees, and you're giving them a cost of living increase in their pension, and you're not giving the people the 10% raise or 12% raise. So now you have a catch 22, underfunded. State of California, underfunded. Tennessee, underfunded. Kentucky already blew up their teachers' pension fund, underfunded. They're all underfunded. Less people work, more retirees. You can see where this is going. You can't be a retiree and live in Florida or Cali because you just got dropped a huge ass bomb going, oh, you thought it was all nice that you had your pension of 4 or 5 G's a month. Well, how about you now pay $1,800 to $2,000 a month just for your insurance? And oh, by the way, you need a roof because you've retired and lived here for 15 years. You need to get a new roof. You get that $100,000 you had churning, making money. You're going to have to go tap that. That's how they're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. So you're not going to be immune down the line. How insurances work, the less people means premiums go up. It's that simple. All right. I'm not going to keep delving into it. We've been in here another hour. You guys know what that means. It's time for that SSN Lifestyle. And the SSN Lifestyle, November 6th through the 8th in Dominican Republic. Real estate investors and business forum. Why do we call it that? You guys know why we call it that. Because we're talking business. And yes, there's going to be a cost involved. It's $199. That's it, though. It's not a heartbreaker. Go to ssnlifestyle.com, go to the shop, sign up. November 6th through the 8th. You see right here on the screen, you see the realtors, you see the lawyers, you see we're going to property tours. This is real estate and business. So don't be confused. You want an offshore company? Hey, we're going to have lawyers there. Johan Confidante, you know my man. He's going to be there. You can talk with him about setting up your offshore business. It doesn't have to deal with real estate. What if you want to start a business in the DR because of all the tourist traffic that's coming right now and for the next 5 years? You're going to be sitting like it's a gold rush out there. Customers are going to be coming in off the streets for damn near everything. Real estate, wellness, which means spa business type stuff. We're talking about medical tourism. Dominican Republic, hotspot on all 3 fronts. Visitors for fun, visitors for the medical tourism, visitors for all of it. The the wellness industry. 3 things blowing up. 5-star resorts with spas coming. All the big boys are now building 12. Some are building 1,200 unit places. Some are building 300 units, 250 units, 800 units. They're building residences. So they know the big dogs are coming with the money. Do you know they're coming with the money? Well, come on over. We're going to have the realtors there. We're going to have builders there. Jeremiah is going to be there to talk to you. He's presently building for about $110 to $115 per square foot in the DR villas, which are homes. Think about it. That is one hell of a deal. You also are going to have some other people not mentioned here on that flyer. Furniture. We got to get a hold of the furniture, ladies and gentlemen. You have no way to keep the prices down. 0 way. Because if you have to buy furniture 2 years from now, nobody's going to tell you, hey, we can get you a furniture package for $21,000. 2 years from now, that $21,000 furniture package may look like some things had to be removed. Because now, in order to meet that furniture package that you originally had, it could be damn near $30,000 in 2 years. That's what we're talking about here. So we're going to have to figure out if there's a way that we can get some costs down. There is a way. Now, if you want to do it or not, that's a whole nother story, right? But think about it. If you know there's going to be tens of thousands of new units built and delivered in the next 2 years, and there's only a limited number of furniture companies, And not only is it a limited number, you're on an island. So unless a furniture company has a freaking warehouse sitting around somewhere that can get you 10, 100 of these and 100 of that and 100 of these, and they're sitting around, which is highly unlikely. IKEA doesn't count, by the way. Do not buy from IKEA. All right. So all I'm trying to say is this is why you set yourself up and why we're having the business swarm as well. Because you might think, well, this is a good idea for me. Maybe I do know somebody and I can get furniture here. And if I can get furniture here, why wouldn't I open up a furniture store and then figure out how I can get something shipped over here reasonably in a matter of days instead of months? This is not that hard. Supply and demand. You have a high demand. So the question is, can I get a few things to put on display? Which, yes, if you're trying to talk to the furniture guys, yes, give me a few samples. Okay, that's how we can start, ladies and gentlemen. Always start with the least amount of money. Go from the bottom to the top. Even if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars you can put into whatever business, go with the lowest first. Because like I said, I'm going with the sample route. Yes, you can order this. Yes, I'll give you a discount, but you're going to have to wait 6 weeks. People will wait 6 weeks if you give them a deal. They'll wait 8 weeks if you give them a deal. Now, if you're trying to charge an arm and a leg, like be on top dog on the street, and then you tell them 8 weeks for delivery, they might say, well, I can just go up the street and pay almost the same money and get it now. So that won't work in that. But you might have that. You're going to spend $100,000 to do that, or are you just going to simply do it another way? Give me some samples, guys. Whatever you can send me samples. I want this, that, and that, whatever we can do. They put the samples out. And now people come in and I give them a hell of a deal and I still make a profit. And they start ordering. And all it takes is one little builder to come in that's building like 10 villas, 8 condos. Hey, man, I want to do a furniture package. How much will you charge me for the furniture package? And you give them a price. And the next thing you know, you might have 20 units of furniture packages. And now off your samples and you say, hey, this is what we want. And because you're the man, you get to tell them, you know what? You can start making payments right now. So then that way I have everything here for everybody when you're on delivery. So it's up to the owners though. But each of them is going to have their own account. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's certain ways you can do this. And there's different techniques that people will use, but that's what I would use. Just letting you know, just like the storage business. I'm being there. I'm looking for some cheap land. I don't even care where it is. It could be out there where Verone, where Cruise on Land and Larimar is. If it's cheap, that'll work too. I found out, thanks to George's Charles, that he sent me over Alto Vista. I saw it before, but I didn't realize it's out in the middle. It's past Cruise on Land. It's past Larimar, past Cruise on Land, and still another, it looks to be by the map, 5 to 10 minute ride. That's like 30 to 35 minutes from the airport. They're building on top of that plateau. They are building other complexes. That complex, I don't really like. It's just some villas, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and 65 square meters. I mean, it's something like that. They're cheap though, 70 grand. But it's not a mega project. It does have basketball court, soccer, mini soccer. It looks like a running track, elevated. I don't know if that's just renderings or what, but it's a running track. Kids playground area and pet area. And there's a pool probably somewhere. But nonetheless, that was it. But it's past Larimar and Cruise on Land by 10 to 15 minutes. That's 30 to 35 minutes from the airport. Now, that's going in the middle of the pastures. 30 to 35 minutes, I want to be going to Macau or north of Macau to some of those 5-star hotels, luxury spots. I don't want to be going to 35 minutes to the middle of the country unless I'm doing this glamping thing, right? But nonetheless, this is going to be very powerful for you. $199 per person. Go over to SSN Lifestyle. In fact, I'll put a link in the chat room for everybody, even if you're not can't be in the chat room tonight. You can see this, and you can go here and register. It's November 6th through the 8th, and we'll have itineraries. You're going to have to pay for your airfare, of course, and your hotel stay. But other than that, we're going to have the transportation. We're going to go around to different projects so you can actually get the lay of the land. So you'll know when we're downtown. You'll say, oh, okay, this is what's going on down here. Then we'll go over, like, drive through Bavaro, then head on out to like Cana Rock area, Hard Rocks, or maybe go up to Macau. Maybe if time permits, we go out to Mishi's. So that gives you an idea. You'll know when people talk to you. You'll be like, oh, that's in the middle of nowhere. Or I better get involved because actually there's already some construction already seen out there. So I need to start thinking about it now. So you'll start getting a sense of urgency. George's Charles, speaking of the devil, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He's one of them ones that has real estate in the DR. He says his tagline, hello all. I smell money in here. That's right. It's the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Of course you do. And he has the icon next to his name. So I want to thank you so much for that, for having that icon next to your name. It's greatly appreciated. Very, very happy to see you tonight, George's Charles. So again, we're having hot spots. Congratulations to some more people that have purchased at Macau Hills. Congrats. Just letting you know in case you're watching, congratulations on doing the damn thing. You can't beat $112,999 for a 3-bedroom. I guess it's 2-bath villa. I'm just saying it's going to be pretty sweet for them people because Macau is the next up and coming spot besides Verone, where Cruise on Land and Larimar are. And Cap Cana, of course, still a hot spot. El Cordacito, Los Corrales, still a hot spot. I want to find out what happened with Blue Marina. But go register, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to have a few people. All right. We need the transportation guys to come. I need some excursion package guys to come because you don't want to fall short. You want to have the full arsenal. You want to be able to do certain things. If you have people coming into town, if you're in a place that doesn't have transportation to and from the airport, you don't mind your customer or the people that you're going to meet there to get their own transportation to and from the airport. But it's a little bit more impressive when you say, we have somebody coming for you. That's a little bit more impressive. Is that worth the extra fee that they're willingly going to pay you if you're doing short-term rentals? I think so. If you're doing excursions and you know the people are coming into town, and what do the excursion companies do? No worries. We'll pick you up from your hotel. Right? That's what they should be doing. You have to think like CEOs now. You want to make the big bucks. You want to escape. Well, nobody said it was going to be easy. You got to do something. All right. But there's the link, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room. So everybody, please smash the like button if you like what we're talking about, and subscribe and click the all notification bell. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Macau. I did hear Macau phase 3 coming. Yes. Phase 3 is not phase 3, unfortunately. What I mean by phase 3 is they're calling it phase 3, but I got a little bit more information. The Macau, whatever it's going to be called, phase 3, is not on the same property as phase 1 and phase 2. It's going to be up the street, apparently, and they're calling it phase 3. I don't know if they're going to call it Macau Hills 3 or something. I don't know what the name is, but it's not on the same complex. All right. So the good news, one thing for sure, they're going to have a clubhouse. Does that mean restaurant, bar, and pool? I hope so. Does that mean it's only going to be $115,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath villa? I hope so. And quite frankly, it might be just a little bit more, not a lot, just a little. Because apparently this Avalon Building Group, they bought acres, hectares, a lot. So, because apparently they have, I didn't know they had another project in Macau called Krasky, Crasqyi, Punta Cana, which is in the Brises area, which again, that's not my favorite choice. I don't want people going to Brises area because presently it's not gated. You don't have any amenities. The community doesn't have any amenities. It's just a residential neighborhood. And then you're going to tell me, Eric, I'm going to do short-term rentals. I'm warning you. Whether they do it or not, I don't know what they're going to do, but you're taking a high risk trying to do short-term rentals in a residential environment without an HOA. You could be at risk later because they are going to regulate Airbnbs in Dominican Republic. What does regulation mean? It could simply mean they're going to charge 10% tax or 8% tax or 5% tax. We don't know. Or it could mean what they did in Texas. In residential neighborhoods, you're banned. What they did in New York, banned. So I'm just saying. So I think it's going to be a tax thing more than what they've aggressively done in some parts of the world and in parts of America. But again, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. So I want something in a project, if I'm going to do this villas or condos, that says the HOA says we're allowed to do short-term rentals on our property. Because then I don't really care what the minister does, because they can't say, hey, it's in residential, I don't think. But again, in Whistler, they did. So who knows? But be very careful when you're doing these things. As long as the HOA has approval for short-term rentals, I don't know where they're getting approvals from, but that's something that I may talk with Johan about, because when they regulate, again, look it up. It looks like they're talking taxes only. And they're talking some sort of limitations because of Rainieri, talking about 3-bedroom houses holding 12 people. That's not the occupancy for a 3-bedroom house. So they want to somehow control that. I don't know how you do that unless you have police knocking on people's doors and then saying, do you live here or are you renting here? I mean, that's crazy. So I don't see how they can enforce that. That would be ridiculous. So either you can't enforce it, you have to ban it, right? George's Charles up the street. Yes, up the street. It's not phase 3 on the same property. So far as we know, again, Macau phase 3 up the street somewhere from where Macau Hills is right now. Again, the key phrase, clubhouse. And I'm assuming that means the same type clubhouse that's at Macau Hills. That's all I know so far. I'm like, you better be doing what you have at Macau Hills. I don't even want to hear it. You better have Macau Hills, better have a hotel, better have a tennis court, a pickleball court, a pool, a restaurant. You better have all that. And then if it's phase 3, you might as well add extra. But ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. I don't know. We've been talking about these guys like they're possibly big time. I'm not satisfied with just possibly. I don't know who these builders are. So what did I do? I said, hey, Nestor, if you're interested in Macau Hills, go see Nestor. Get on the wait list because my Macau Hills Gardens villas sold out. Macau Garden condos still available. But because the villas are no longer available, people are buying condos now. So you better start, if you want to get a condo that's under $80,000, whether it's a 1 or 2 bedroom. Again, the place doesn't have that many amenities, but they do have transportation to their beach club. They do have transportation to Macau Beach and their beach club at Macau. But I'm concerned about what I saw today. I found out that Krasqyi, Punta Cana, Krasqyi, Macau, I don't know where it is, but again, we can go look at their development, right? They've actually already started. And it appears to me that they're putting the units. I don't know how they build units there, the villas in reality, because I'm used to foundations. So I shouldn't be seeing anything other than a foundation on top, or the building on top of a foundation. I'm not seeing that. It doesn't appear like that to me from some short clip video. Nobody's running through there with a 5 to 10 minute video that I can find on YouTube. Everybody has these ridiculous 1 minute, a minute and a half, and they're just walking around. And I'm just like, okay, you're walking around. I see walls, but they're cement walls. That's nice. Where is the actual unit that shows that's a model? So I found one with a model, but it's only like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and they just pan real quick. A living room, dining room area, which didn't seem that much space. Then it showed like it's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So it's a small place, but they're just bouncing around because the kitchen, living room, dining room is all in the same spot. And I'm like, wait, there's a door that's on the side of the house. And I was like, wait, what's that door? Shouldn't that be a wall? But who knows what it is? That's another entry or what? And I'm like, but that's cutting off where you can put your furniture at. And I'm like, this living room doesn't look to be that big. So again, we need to see renderings. And if you do have renderings with Macau Hills, I recommend you check out the square meters of each room. I suggest you highly, highly check that out, because these units aren't that big. They're 65 square meters. So if your living room, dining room, kitchen, I don't know how big it can be, right? 400 square feet? 400 square feet is a hotel room. Well, hotel rooms are usually 300 feet, right? Somewhere like that. So 320, 290, 280, it all depends on where you stay, but traditionally 320 to 350. So imagine living room, dining room, and a kitchen in that smaller space, and there's a bathroom. So now you're understanding, if you have a 2 bedroom, 1 bath that's only 65 square meters, which is roughly 710 square feet, your bedrooms, if they're 12, well, one should be 12 by 10, right? 120, and another one should be 10 by 10, maybe. I'm assuming, but maybe they're bigger. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that's 200 square feet gone, 220 gone. And if your place is 700, that leaves you 580. Living room, dining room, kitchen. So you have to start thinking 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. There's no 3 bedroom, 1 bath anywhere. I'm hoping nobody's silly enough to develop something that small with 3 ones. Them days are gone. This ain't 1950s or nothing. That would be crazy. All right. So yeah, George's Charles. No, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, not 3. But that was Victor Marrero. 3 bedroom, 1 bath. What? No, it's actually 2 bedroom. I must have misspoke. It's 2 bedroom, 1 bath. But their 2 bedroom, 1 bath looks so small. In fact, I should pull it up just so I can show you guys, because there's some people here that is purchasing at Macau. And let me see if I can. I'm going to pull this up. We're going to go overtime tonight. I was going to end this early, but I'm going to go overtime. All right. So let me see if I can go to YouTube. I'll go to YouTube here. And Q I U I S. Remember, you'll see what to do. I couldn't find one where somebody's actually doing a walkthrough, taking their time, talking about it. So it's very, very key. I think that's okay. I think that's how I think it didn't have an S at the end. So let's go find out if I can find this crass key. There we go. Sold out 1 year ago. So let me see if I can find one. I'm going to put this over here on the screen so you guys can be able to check it out too as I'm scrolling through here. So we've got the bizbuysell.com. If you want to find a business that's existing right now, that will help you out greatly. And then let's go over here. Let me see if I can. Here we go. This right here. Is this the one? Okay. I don't even think that's the one, because I think that's one that he showed me, or that even though he showed that, it was like weird. Let me see here. New bedroom 7 days ago. New project launched in Punta Cana, born at El Cortecito, but it's by Remax. Interesting. I don't really mess with Remax properties. I'm sorry, lot guys. I'm partial. I'm very, very partial. Okay. Here we go. 3 months ago, interior. No, no, no. That's a rendering. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm looking for the real one. I don't want this rendering thing. See, they're all like a minute 23. The other guy, hey, this shows us here. Cool. Um, let's see here. Well, I'll just have to guess. We'll go with the one where the guy shows the door. Maybe that was the one that showed a brief because I looked at it. We'll see if it is what it is. If you don't see a video, if you see this in replay and you don't see a video, there's a reason why. Okay, 2 minutes. Here we go. Look. Oh, this is in Moqueribe. This is with Gwen and those guys about a year ago. Let me see if they're walking through anything here. I don't know why they're showing the beach. It's not near the beach, so I don't get that. It's nice to show it, but can we get on with the project? There's no beach club down here for you guys. Let's go. So you want a shopping center. Yes, we know there's this stuff. Here we go. Let's see. This is not it. This is renderings. All right. So maybe I watched this earlier. Maybe this was the one that he fooled me because again, there was one where the guy showed inside for like 10, 15 seconds. But again, this is what I'm expecting up at their Macau gardens. So this may not be the one. I'm going to skip ahead, see if, oh, here we go. It is coming up. Let's go. Okay, look, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Let me know what you think. This could be the 2 bedroom, 1 bath that they're building up at Macau Hills. I don't know. But see that door over here? I was like, what is that? See, it goes by so fast. And I'm like, wait, there's a door right here. Looks like there may be a door back here. And he came in the front door. So I'm going to go back just to show here. Now, this is it. This is pretty much it. Not much space when you really look at it. And this door over here, maybe this is a model. I'm trying to figure out why these are here, but it is what it is. So when we're there, is this the same model that they're building at Macau Hills or Macau Hills? So look, they got the white doors though. I want the white doors. So again, no patio area, no, nothing. Small. It looks to be a 10 by, maybe that's a 10 by 11. Has its own bathroom, so that'd be the master. So again, that's pretty much it. That's the only one I could find. Just so you guys know. Oh, was that the screen? Let me see. Yes, that was the screen. That was the only one I could find, you guys. He says no screen. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. What do you mean? It didn't go to the, hold on. He's saying no screen. Let's see. I didn't even look. Oh, okay. So you saw it, right? If not, we'll go back through it. I'll just scroll up because I kind of know where we started. We walk in the unit. This is so fast. It's ridiculous. Here we go. He's standing here, and then he walks in, and it's fast. In fact, let me do this. Let me do something here. Okay, they use 480p. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this.
La constructora se llama Morales y Fernández. Ha
Yeah, there you
realizado
go.
varios
Okay, that's
proyectos,
a little better.
entre ellos este que estamos acá ubicados, se llama Krasky. Este proyecto
That's even better. Okay, so this is what I was showing. When he first walks in, it appears that this is weird, right? In case, I think some of you saw this, but in case you didn't, this is a very small table, which, okay, fine. Sofa with the TV, okay, fine. But there's not really much space. And then I was questioning what these were. So maybe this is the model and that's why they have entrances or something. I don't know. But, or maybe they're windows that are long windows, which then the dining room, this table needs to be down here. The couch needs to be down here, but we don't know how much space there is, right? So I'll move it along because this is fast.
Este proyecto se están
They really don't do the camera angles right. This guy doesn't. He goes into the first bedroom with the white doors. And again, I can't tell. It looks like it might be a 11 by 11, maybe. And then bathroom, nothing wrong with the bathroom. I mean, standard.
Aprovecha esta oportunidad
So
para invertir
it looks like this was a 2-2.
Y puedas tener tu villa de
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for that. Hopefully, if I missed it. Okay, so so you didn't see it before. All right. Thanks, Victor Morel, for letting me know. Whenever I show a screen and I'm on the screen with my cursor, I can't see the live screen. So thank you for letting me know. But that appeared to be 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They just didn't show the second bathroom, which was weird. Or could it have been the laundry room? Maybe it is a 2-1. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that's their work at this place called Crackus, or Crasqui, Krasky. So I'm assuming that could be the 2-bedroom type units that they're putting up at Macau Hills. So again, in case anybody, a lot of you are familiar with building, let me know what you guys think about these buildings here. Let me know what you think about this from the outside. I find this very interesting. Hold on, let me see if I can get the outside first. This is interesting to me. See, I don't know what this is. There's a door here, and there's 2 doors here. And this looks like a courtyard, by the way. This looks like I'm going to drive up and put my car here. So again, without me knowing the Macau Hills, I'm going to have to look at their villas again and see what they really are. They could be these. And this could be those 2 doors inside that we saw. But everybody has them, right? Yeah, see, this is a driveway. It looks like visitors get to come in or parking on the other side at this particular project. So yeah, there you go. Okay, are these windows? These are windows. They're not doors. Those look to be windows. So the question is, when he goes in the house, is this a bedroom windows? Yikes. Okay. And look at this easement. That looks to be like 5 feet. 6 feet, best case scenario. Wow. That's not good. Okay. Are these windows? Could be. I don't know. And here goes some more windows. These are the ones in the driveway. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if you own at this Krasky place, you want things like Macau Hills. You want your next door neighbors side by side. You're basically in a master overlooking the driveway. That's kind of wild. But nonetheless, that's their first project. They have one in Punta Cana, Punta Cana, Kraski, Macau. All right, we'll keep going again.
Distribuidos. Esta villa en
So
particular
yeah, now I'm
tiene dos
seeing where
habitaciones
we
con
are in
dos
the
baños.
building.
La verdad es que trabajan con muy buena calidad
That is
esta
weird.
constructora
The
y así
master
mismo será
is
la que les
on the
entregaremos a
street.
ustedes en Kraski View
Usually
Macao.
you put guest rooms or other rooms.
Aprovecha esta oportunidad.
So he didn't even go into the next area. So looks to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't know how much they were, but once again, that is their work so far in the first section. So here we are with decisions to make, right? Once again, we have people buying at Macau, Primaveros, Las Recipal, and all these type of places. Urbe, Cana, Urbe Vista, which Urbe Cana, I think, is the one that has the villas. But all I'm trying to say is, if you can find out who the developer or what they're doing before you buy, that's always a better thing. In our case, at Larimar and Cruise on Land, we don't have any other things. All we know is, I know at Larimar, Claire HP is building Oceana, which is an upscale place. Remember, their 2 bedrooms were like 145, 160,000. Now they're costing just as much as the beach. In the twos, 260, 270 or some nonsense, right? Which is not nonsense because they actually have amenities. Theater, supermarket, kids club, meaning a place where parents can leave their kids. They have restaurants. Their units are over their man-made beach on the first floor. They have a kayak station inside their units. And they have other items there, other amenities, fitness, so they got a lot of things, and 5 minutes to the beach by walking. So it's pretty good. They're building their structures. River Island, Atlantida, they're building their structures. In Cap Cana, they're doing Wave Garden. They're building that structure, which is going to be done 2024, by the way, next summer. But they're only building the structure. The rest of it, the guys at Noval are going to finish, right? They're going to do their thing. The Ocean Bay, they built part of their structure, Claire HP, that is. So again, you can see their work as far as structure-wise. They have no issues, right? So once you can build a structure, you're going to have issues with the interior. Well, we'll find out when they put a model out, right? Just like right now, Cruise on Land put a model out. People should be able to see their model. You can see the quality of their work that they took 9 months to finish. Well, actually, it's not even finished, but 9 months. So it just begs the question, how are you going to put together the rest of the stuff if it took 9 months? But I'm just saying, Larimar, somebody could say the same, except like I said, Larimar, they have at least 10 cranes on the island. And they're putting up, that's why Atlantida is going to be done first. By the way, Wave Garden, also supposed to be done in 2024. But remember, they're only 4 and 5 levels high. They're not 15 levels high, right? So you can do short work of those if you have cranes and you have a crew that knows what they're doing, especially when you're just building concrete rebar structures that you've done all over the world. That's not even a thing. It's the interior wise. But if I'm them, I'm just going to have Noval do it, right? We got a partnership already. I build your structures, you finish doing the rest. Well, why don't I build our structures and you come over and do our interiors? I mean, come on, that's what I do. Or they got skill sets, they'll do it themselves. But nonetheless, all I'm trying to say is it's always best to know if you can find out. Not saying everybody can find out in pre-construction about the developers, but it's best to know you can go see their work now, walk through and determine, do I want to, sign up for this? And determine if you feel that that's going to be the value that you want down the line. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sending over something because I have a little pet peeve about villas and homes. And I told you guys before, if you're not new, you know how I feel about it. In places that rain or don't rain, it barely rains in California. But every house I ever own, the first thing I do is when I pull up to the house, I go to see if they have a little trench like this and it's covered so water instead of coming right next to your foundation, because you know soil moves, it erodes. And so instead of coming straight down to your foundation, I want to make sure it goes into this little trough where water can actually be shipped out to the sewer. That's what I want to see. So what I noticed when I looked at Kraski, and I'm pretty sure a lot of projects in the DR, they don't have those little troughs all the way around the house, not just in certain sections, all the way around. I want any water coming off roofs, coming off anywhere, even coming off whatever, the rain, I want it to be funneled in. I don't want it to settle next to my foundation because they will move. I'm just letting you guys know. So that's the way I look at it. Now, it could be volcanic rock for all I know that this stuff is built on, right? But all I'm saying is that's one of my little pet peeves. I want those. I don't want to see it a building straight down and there's just dirt and soil, because you're going to have to deal with this sooner or later. Maybe not year 10, but year 20, there's going to be erosion and water seeps below you and it will carve out sand down below, or it'll deteriorate the sand and it'll put a hole, and then your house will start tilting a little bit. All right. I don't know about DR if this is their standard practices, but I want to see a foundation underneath first. And then I want to see some trough somewhere. I want to see, and it rains, right? We have rainy season. It's in the tropical zone. So I want this stuff washing away. Or underneath. I don't want to see nothing sitting, stagnating for a day, 2, 3, and then another storm comes a week later, and you know there's going to be deterioration. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of my pet peeves myself. So this is something you got to look at. And don't make no bones about it. I've talked about this before with other developers. And, you know, they pretty much just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I'm still saying, for me, you have to watch out for these type of things, right? All right. Now, we're going to wrap this up tonight. We're going to end it a little bit earlier. But hopefully the middle class is burning down. You're one of them. Don't try to act like you're not. Let's just face facts. You know the odds of how many people watching this are making over $150,000 a year. I mean, seriously, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, but there's not going to be 100 of you. All right. Let's just call it what it is. All right. There's a reason it's top 10%, top 20% of the wealthiest. All right. That's just, so don't act crazy. And 6 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck. So even a millennial, 73% of them, as you guys know. So don't mess around. I know since 60% of our population is living paycheck to paycheck, in theory, that could be 180 to 200 million people. But is 180, 200 million people employed? That's the $1 million question, right? So some people have double jobs. Some people are trying to do double jobs, have a side hustle, which is another business that could be added to the roles because you're counting yourself as an employee. So this causes a problem. So there could only be 140 people, 140 million people actually working. That's part of the middle class. And then you have the top 10% who's not part of the middle class. And then you have everybody else. And that everybody else is going to be it's going to be dragging people down with them, because we have to make up the difference. And we is the middle class. We have to make up the difference for the lower class. And some people would say, what are you talking about? Well, what I'm saying is those services that you pay for via your taxes, they're used for everybody. And the people that are in the upper class who have the capital or the businesses or the health coverages that they need and can go up to Cedar Sinai Hospital and pay the freaking $500,000 because they were in the hospital, it's not going to affect them. But you who don't eat the best of foods, who aren't able to take care of yourself the best because you can't afford to get the extra pampering that you need to take care of your health at an optimal level, you will be down at the hospital before those people generally, right? So that's the part of it becomes the society's problem. And so if you can get tax cut, tax breaks, get free land to build your businesses, and that money isn't actually used to put into the economy, such as I have to buy the land instead of it being free. That goes to an individual who, earned it, so to speak, just by owning it, instead of a county saying, we'll give you our county land for free that the taxpayers pay for. So you understand these little nuances is why the middle class is burning down, because you guys are paying for a larger percentage of social net for citizens in America, and more than citizens in America. America's in the Geneva Convention. So therefore, refugees from around the world come to America, just like they go to Europe, just like they go to Australia. So same, the NATO's nations generally. And so you've agreed to that. So those people are coming over here in a war-torn area, shirts on their back, or cartel areas, shirts on their back, a few supplies that they bring with them. Now they land here. We take care of them. That's social nets. How does this happen? They're taking it out of our money one way or another. So that's why the middle class is going to get sucked down more and more, because the big boys who did what we talked about earlier, you made your investments, you're making that money coming in, they can sit there and say, you know what? Here, we're going down and make our donation of 100,000, 50,000. That's great. But remember, there's less of them. So if you have 2,600 billionaires on the planet, each of those billionaires said, hey, in their own respective countries, said, here's $100,000. Okay, that sounds great. But the problem is that's only a few million. You need more than a few million. So where's the rest of it going to come? Oh, you say, Eric, there's 60 million millionaires. Can't they put in like 50 G's? Yeah, okay, they might. But again, they might not. So how many of them are going to put money in? If you have, hey, they won't even pay taxes if they can get away with it. You really think they're going to come out of pocket on a basis of some sort once a year, annually, 50,000, 100,000? Unlikely, right? So even if they did, what are you talking about? A few million still. You still got to worry about 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 million people. That's below our middle class threshold. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You're slowly slipping down. Even if you go, hey, I'm making $120,000 a year, you're still slipping, because $120,000 a year 20 years ago, you were high on the hog. There was no issues. You could easily save damn near half of that on a yearly basis. You wouldn't have needed it unless, of course, you went crazy. Now, groceries being 2 bags and $200, different ball game. All right, enough. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you'll sign up at November 6th through the 8th and come join us. I know there's only going to be a few people there. Even if there's 3 people, even if there's 4, even if there's 5, it doesn't matter. We're still going to go see the guys. We're going to go to Larimar too. We're going to go to the Larimar offices because they have an office. We're going to go see Gwen too at his office. They have separate offices. Gennaro, we're going up to the cliff. We're going to Cruise on Land. We're going to their offices, which is at Cruise on Land. Then we're going, like I say, Macau, Hard Rock, so you get the lay of the land, the distances. And we're going to have the lawyers. We're going to have the developers. We're going to have builders. We're going to have brokers. We're going to have the bank guys coming. So maybe one. Instead of guys, there'll probably be one that's coming, talk, tell you what docs you're going to need and how you're going to do it. And we're going to glad hand whoever you're there, who's ever there. So now you'll get, relationships with banks is a good thing, especially somebody that's doing loan docs for mortgages. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You guys, you got to be at a place to commingle. You meet a developer, talk with them. You might be able to get a great deal. Because now you came with the SSN Nation. We're talking. You call them up a few times in the next year or two saying, what do you think about this? Can you build me that? What are we still on target for $110, $115, $120 per square meter or square foot? These are the type of things that you can do when you get people in the room that you get in front of, that traditionally you may not get in front of in a timely manner, because you wouldn't have lay of the land. You would have to get there or talk to a realtor and say, hey, where can I get furniture? Oh, go down here to this store, just like we do now. Where do we get furniture? Oh, there's a big one down in El Cordecito area. Go down there. Okay, that's great. But I'm a customer now, just like anybody else. I want deals. So we have to shake hands. We have to talk to people. We have to say, hey, wait a minute. We have 50 people that could order furniture. Can we get a deal? I think that'll wake them up, right? I think they'll be like, oh, yeah, I think we can. Yeah, we need to talk. Big difference, right? So we're going to come with it, ladies and gentlemen. You want to play the big boys? Well, come along for the ride. All right. This is what I do. And we'll make some deals and we'll make some things happen. Sure, you might not say, you might say, I want to be in the buy the furniture package. That's fine. Because in some places, you're going to have to be in the rental pool. To be in the rental pool, you have to buy the furniture package. So be it. But for all those who can buy their own furniture and still be in the rental pool, well, now you get to do something special, because now your unit could stand out if you do it the right way. So everybody has the standard units, and then all of a sudden they see this one where they're like, wait, this isn't the same complex, but what is this? I like the way that looks. I want to stay there. And they're charging the same amount or a little more. I'm going to stay there. So just keep those things in mind. That's why you come to Real Estate Investors and Business Forums. And I'll reiterate, November 6th through the 8th, 2023 in Punta Cana, SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana. I'll reiterate once again, because a lot of people are used to this newfangled stuff where they have people come talk, and I hate this. They charge you to get in the door, and then they're selling you something. What I mean by that is they come in and say, oh, I have this person speaking. And the next thing you know, they're like, I'll see you over here to get my book. I'll see you over here to come sign up for our seminar. I'll see you over here to sign up for our motivational lessons of the week. I don't know, but that's what they're doing now. So you're paying like at the X, paying $2,000, and then it's like a sales thing. Famous people coming up to chit chat, but then after you can leave, they have these booths where people are selling their wares. And I'm just like, that's not what we're doing. Sure, if you want to get the builder, fine. But this is designed for you to ask questions, not designed for them to sit there and sell you something. They don't have to. I'm getting them in the room so you can say, if I want to build something, how much is it generally going to cost me? If I want to add fixtures, how you'll be able to get some info that you need to determine what you want to do. They're not going to sit there and go see, we're not going to see them over in the corner unless you have a reason to go see them over in the corner and talk to them. But lawyers, Johan readily has been on our channel. He'll tell you what's going on when he's there. It's no, if you want to sign up for his services, then you go to his office. He ain't going to be talking about go over here to a booth. All right. Same kind of thing. It's like, if you want to buy land while we're there from one of the guys, then that's you guys. You go to their office. You can sign something if they bring it with them in the room, but that ain't none of my business. Nobody else's either. You can make an arrangement and go see them at the office or wherever you want to meet them up with. But the point I'm trying to make is, no, we're not trying to get you there to sell you something once you get there. We're getting you there. So if you want to buy something, that's good for you to be there. If you want to start a business, that's good for you to get the land and figure out, hey, I need some help because I don't live here. Just like I invoke Johan. I say, Johan, I need some land. Do you know some of your clients or anybody that has any land? He says, yeah, that one time the guy wanted an acre, $1.5 million. I was like, that ain't the type of land I'm talking about. All right. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay. So I said, there's plenty of jungle around. I said, I don't have to be within 5 minutes of downtown. What do you think is going to happen when Cruise on Land? And I was like, give me some of Verone. Cruise on Land and Larimar together is going to have 4,000 at Cruise on Land. Actually, there's going to be more, but that's another story, another day. And then Larimar is probably going to have 10 to 20,000 for sure. Not in the first phases, but over the next 5, 6 years. So there's going to be like 25,000 people in that area, or 25,000 owners in that area. And it depends on what the owners are doing, living there or whatever, but people are going to have to store things. So that's a perfect location and that Alta Vista place comes out. So again, those people, they have these small little villas or condos, so they're going to store stuff. If that's what's going to happen, people are going to take these little storage spots. And if I can get some cheap land way up there in the middle of nowhere, I'll take that. It doesn't matter. The place is going to keep growing. It's going to be perfect, in my opinion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much again. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. And the Wealthy Wednesday Night crew with the icon, in case you're new here and you couldn't get in the chat room, it's on Wednesday night only that members with the icon that can be in the chat room. They can also join me on screen to discuss anything you want if you're a member. If you're a subscriber, please see us on Friday night at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably be talking a little bit more real estate too, because I'm going to talk about that a lot, because you're losing out. And before I let you go, I'm going to give you some numbers. At one time, you could have bought a penthouse unit at Larimar for $305,000. I think that was the price. All right. And you had 36 months or 34 months to make monthly payments. And you could have put down 10%. So you could have put down 31,000. And then 30% is 90 grand, but then it would have been 30 some months. So you'd have been in the 2,500 range, somewhere in there, right? But here's what happens. The price goes up from 305 to 346, but now you have 24 months to go with the same 90,000 plus basically 100,000. Now 5,000 a month. That lowers the playing field on who's going to be able to buy at a payment plan. It lowers the playing field who's going to buy 346 cash for a pre-construction. So that's why there's some still available. And that's also why at Horizon it's still available. So this is why when you wait longer, it's going to cost you more also because you waited and the prices go up. And it's going to cost you more monthly, even at 0%. So that's part of the problem when you wait too long. Now all of a sudden, who wants to pay $4,000 a month, $3,500 a month on a pre-construction for 2 more years? Nobody's really a big fan of that. So now you start getting leftover units, and that brings in the boys who's going to be like a year from now, that 346 prime tower penthouse unit is going to be 380. But somebody's going to pay 380 cash or finance it, put 25 or 20% down and get somebody to give them a loan. But the point I'm trying to make is this is why you don't wait. You're losing out your dollars. You're decreasing the value of your dollar as each year goes by. And I'll say one more thing before I go, because again, a guy was buying a lot I want 30 grand for. All right. I know in the city there, International Airport, I know it's up the street. I know they're building, making highways. They're building about 10 blocks away, up to 10 blocks. They're redesigning the city, so to speak, all the way up from 0 to 20 streets. So 10 blocks away now is going to be part of this new zone, tourist zone. So I said, well, I'm not going to wait 10 years. I'm not like 30 years old, 35 years old. So I'm not going to wait 10 years before they finish this, where I can reap the reward, where I can sell this lot for maybe 70, 100,000. But in that 10-year time, there's inflation going on, where I can take that money and just go, hey, I'll just put in like 10 G's in yield max and earn 3 G's a year. $300 a month is fine to begin with, or 15 G's. So I told him, I said, nah. He goes, well, I got to clear it and this, that, and the other. I said, you know what? I said, actually, I'll take off. Since you said that and you're a builder, here's what I'm going to, here's how I'm going to talk to you. So this is a win-win for everybody. What I'm going to do is you're going to pay a little bit more. So I'm going to say 25,000. just because you're a builder, developer. I like what you're saying. And everybody who's accepting 18,000 now, 17,000, whatever the number is they're accepting right now, you're going to actually help everybody. One, you're going to spend 25,000. He offered 21. I said, "Now, you're going to pay like 25. Maybe 24 if I feel good when you call next time." I said, "But everybody from that point on, they're going to be able to sell their lots for 20, whatever you buy this for. So I want 24, 25. And that's good for the people that live there, who basically live in places that is it's a place that has been utilized against people when there's systemic racism. That's one of the places. The reason why I say that is because it is on the black side of town, and the rules that the city made was, if you want to add an additional structure onto the home, they passed this like 30 years ago. If you want to add an extra bedroom, the cost for you to do this is not just your extra bedroom. You have to upgrade everything in the house to the year code. Everything. Now, these homes, they're 30, 40, 50 years old. Can you imagine having all of your home up to code that is from 1960? That's crazy. So needless to say, hardly any homes have ever been renovated, which has kept the price of the property low. So I said, you're going to help out everybody if you do the deal with me, even though he may not, he might be, he hung up the phone and like, F that. I'm not going to pay extra. I said, you're going to help out with the extra. For now, everybody there is going to get their $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 more per lot. That's the first part. Second part, you're going to build a 1,500 square foot home that's going to be what, 3 bedroom, 2.5 baths or something. Because you're going to be like overbuilding kind of, but 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. And what are you going to sell it for? $350 a year from now, whatever. I said, so not only that, you increase the value of the neighborhood. And so everybody there who has a house, their house goes up a little bit. So you can be a hero. And that's why I'm not going to sell it to you for 21 grand. All right. I'm just going to hold it. It's free and clear, man. I ain't tripping. So, and it's a double lot too. So, and has water and sewer and electricity runs in the front. So he's good to go. Just has to clear it and bring his boys to make it happen. Then I told him, hey man, you're going to spend about what? $150 a square foot. And he starts this, well, man, I ain't done $150 since 2019. I was like, that's a shame. I was like, that's a shame. You might have a problem then. Maybe you can't buy this from me. You might have a problem then, because if you got to do 200, that's 300 G's. So you're going to be out of pocket 325 G's plus permit. So I was like, okay, well, that brings a problem, because you're not going to be able to sell it for 450. Sorry. That ain't going to happen. So maybe you want to rethink this, because if you don't have guys that can't do it for 150 or less, I'm like, you got a problem. I don't even know why you're trying to buy a lot in this situation. No matter who you get them from, $18,000 lot ain't going to help you either. So, but anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the story and the way things go. So I'm getting revved up for when we go to the DR, when I see these guys in person, right? All right, let's wrap it up. And with all that said, make sure you do this. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join us on Friday night live stream at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. And make sure, whatever you do, you stay safe out here in these streets, because you never know what's going to happen. Watch your back, watch your 6, watch your 12s, watch everything, because people out here are crazy. People are getting desperate. So you got to make sure you watch your surroundings. And beyond that, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.